For video game trivia. You want to play? Come see me. Yeah, you didn't know? No, I did not. Well, you do now.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Rob the Noob from 4 Nerds, 1Podcast. We are here at Three Daughters Brewing with our good friend here, Ched, and
Quizmaster Ched.
Excuse me, Master Ched.
No, Quizmaster.
Quizmaster. I gotta make sure I break it down properly, and I give the man his dues because he puts in the work here. He's gonna be doing everything.
Just Master. Might get a different crowd.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. You know, everything. And next thing you know, people start talking about dog collars. So like, maybe I should change that. Hang on a second, let me.
Yes,
maybe not.
Do.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, we're here for trivia night tonight. It's gonna be, I predict a pretty good show out. The music is blasting right now. We're getting things queued up now already. It's gonna be awesome. We just want to get a quick interview out of the way. Tell people who you are, everything else, what you're about, what you got going on here, and why we're out here today. So real quick, how did you start America TriviAddiction?
Well, I didn't start the company. I work for them.
Oh, okay.
Now, what I do is, I'm a quizmaster. I run my own games.
Right.
But I have the title of head quizmaster for the state of Florida.
Okay.
What that means is I'm responsible for writing games such as the one tonight.
All right.
I also train up new people to do what I do. So if anyone wants to be a quizmaster, come to Three Daughters on a Monday night, talk to me, and I can get you started.
Yeah, flex the muscles a bit, you know, let them know.
Hey, the hardest thing about this job is finding talent.
There it is. That is true.
So
trust me, we can relate. But so I gotta ask you, since we are 4 Nerds 1Podcast and being a nerd is our thing, what is your brand of nerd? Where do you fall in like the
comic book nerd to a T?
Yeah, there you go. So are you Bronze Age, Silver Age? Where you at?
Wow, that is a good question. I was here, Marvel or DC? I'm like, can I like both?
Pedestrian.
Yeah. Honestly,
we're asking real
questions. I grew up
here.
80s, 90s, so I have a soft spot for a lot of 90s stuff, even though I shouldn't.
There you go.
Most of my comic book reading, heavy reading, was 2000s.
Oh,
yeah, so an interesting era, and it still is. Like, I still spend quite a bit of money on new books.
Yeah.
I would love to do a comic book trivia game here, but it all depends on the crowd.
Yeah, I feel like with that, you kind of have to build it up a little bit. You have to really get a good, beefed-up crowd coming to it. Were you really big into the new 52 when it came out, or you kind of...
What's funny was, I was going to make the new 52 my goodbye from DC.
Whoa, okay.
Because all the books I liked were either ending or being seriously tweaked.
Wow, so that was the swan song for you, huh?
It was.
Okay.
And then I was enjoying Flashpoint for what it was.
Yes.
I'm like, you know what? Put me down for Justice League. And I think I got all but a handful the first month, and then for a while, I was buying more DC than Marvel.
Oh, man.
Now, the new 52 is pretty much, they went back to the old continuity, for the most part.
Yeah. Little change up here and there, but...
Well, they took what worked. Like, okay, like Red Hood is kind of an anti-hero. To me, it was more of a new 52.
Yes.
That stuck around.
I fuck with Red Hood hard.
But then we got rid of things that were kind of, like, the Scott Lobdell Teen Titans run.
Yes.
Which I think part of the problem with that, it wasn't him, it was editorial.
You know what? That's a pretty valid criticism.
They told me he couldn't use all these characters.
I hadn't really thought about that too much until before. You kind of roll into it sometimes and thinking that, but yeah, no, I dig that. That's a fair crit. So what are your top 5 nerd medias that you usually kind of like always indulge in? That you kind of come out?
Like specific series?
Not so much that, but like where do your interests lie usually? Like where do you usually navigate to? Like, so you said comics already, so
yeah, that's the top one for me.
So what's going down from for you had to rank up from 1 to 5?
Okay, comics are at the top. Mm-hmm. I would say certain series I just like to binge watch. Okay. So I guess to an extent, or if it's like how Disney Plus has been doing the Marvel stuff, as soon as it's out, I'll watch it.
Okay, so you're digging on like the live action stuff that's coming out now. Okay. We watched all of Loki, and that was a banger, the entire thing. So I can definitely agree with you on that one.
Yep.
You get down with any kind of sort of like computer games or console games or anything like that?
Gaming is a weird thing for me.
Oh, okay.
When I lived overseas, I gamed a lot more because I was living in South Korea, And there are a few people I got on with really well in town, but I kind of, during the week, did my own thing.
And you get into some sweaty, like, StarCraft 2 lobbies?
Never gotten to StarCraft. No,
Really?
I basically imported an Xbox.
Ooh.
You can get them there, but it costs a fortune.
Yeah, no,
I had friends that were, you know all about this. I had friends that were in the military.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, hey, dude, can I, like, mail this to you? You hold it for me? And then I'll pick it up when I'm in town.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, I'll take you to lunch.
There you go.
Guess what? Easiest deal ever.
There you go. Just
saved me $100 and I
there.
spent maybe 25.
Ah, enough said.
Yeah.
That's a good lunch. So do you get down with any like sort of anime or kind of like are you getting into any manga or kind of
Anime
any
and manga,
directions?
I don't hate it. I just never could get into it. I tried.
Okay.
I don't dislike those that do.
It's not for everybody.
Not my thing. But I'm sure there's something out there I would enjoy. Like I started watching, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, Agretsuko?
Yeah, you got it. All right.
I said it right. Yes. One of my friends is so into it, and I'm like, yeah. And I started watching it. I'm like, you know what it proved? No matter your culture, pretty much all office jobs are the same.
Yeah.
To an extent.
No, yeah.
And that's, I think, is why it kind of clicked with me.
You have to find like that one thing that you find, like one particular show that clicks with you, and you're just like, yes, this is my lane. I'm staying in this lane now. Whether it be like really cutesy, look, slice of life
Chibi.
stuff, yeah, or like you go in the other direction like me, where it's
Other
like,
ones.
yeah.
Oh, Shin-Chan. I forgot about Shin-Chan.
Oh my God! What
Yes,
a
the American
throwback.
version is different.
What a throwback!
But my deviant mid-20s self was laughing his ass off.
Oh, it's
all the
great.
time.
It's great. It's for people who like take it seriously in the beginning and like, oh no, it's a serious show. Next thing you know, you start watching it like, oh, this is not what I was expecting at all. So I totally feel you on that. I watch that on Adult Swim with like religiously every single day.
What's funny is though the Japanese version is a kid show because a little bit of like a cartoon bit of nudity is nothing to them.
No,
Like, oh whatever.
Yeah, because it's like low quality. It looks kind of shitty, and you're just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
Someone popped a titty out. Yeah, it looks like a freaking oblong banana, whatever the fuck. It's fine. We can work with that.
To them it's nothing.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like a non-issue.
Yeah.
I started watching like some Asian dramas.
Oh.
Now when I lived in Korea, I'm like,
a little bit of
see,
K-drama.
the thing was, because I looked at them all like, it's gonna be like forbidden love story, etc., etc.
Oh, okay.
But I saw this one called Itaewon Class.
Ooh, okay.
It's about a guy opening up a restaurant, like a rags to riches story, wrapped up with a revenge story.
Perfect.
And I spent a lot of time in Itaewon in Seoul, so I would watch it. I'm like, I know that spot. I know that.
That's the best when you go, I know that place. I've been there.
And Midnight Diner, which is Japanese.
Yes, Midnight Diner is great. I love that. I love Midnight Diner. I've only got about like maybe 6 episodes in, but with my workload, it's like I'm trying to balance everything out as much as I can, but it's great. I love that. So I saw some art on your IG that you had before.
Yes.
How long have you been drawing?
Thank you. That's honestly since as I was a kid. But I pick it up when I'm either bored or if it's basically like a natural antidepressant for me.
Gotcha.
drawing.
So it's like comfort food.
But it's usually a healthy outlet.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you show it to like a psychologist, then it's usually not. Then I end up in that nice place.
They
with
start
the soft
going,
walls.
whoa, I don't know about that.
That happened to me years ago. There was a thing called 24-hour comic book day.
All right.
And we created this like loser superhero group, but it was like a very, very poor man's A-team with horrible superpowers, and they're all deviants.
That's
in some
awesome.
way.
No, that sounds great. Yeah. But
Well, my friend's mom saw the copy of it I worked on.
oh no.
Yeah, and we were like adults then. That's what was funny. It wasn't when we were like dumb little kids. We were
Yeah.
like in our 20s. He thought it was the funniest thing ever. She didn't.
Naturally.
She's
Naturally.
like, the person that wrote and drew this needs to be in a mental institution. I'm like, part of it.
Been there. And
I'm like, it's just an outlet.
Can relate.
It's like, I'm not actually going to go out and do all this stuff. It's just,
No, yeah. If anything, you just like it's an outlet. It's an outlet for that's one of those things. It's like somebody who gets crazy on Call of Duty and they freaking just like scream stupid shit at people. Like that's their outlet, so they don't like go wild on somebody.
Oh God!
In
In
real life.
Korea, it was Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, and I'm like, I'm gonna try playing online, right?
Oh God.
And I heard it sounded like kids in Korean. I learned a lot of Korean curse words. I gotta make a quick announcement. All right, if you're here for video game trivia, come see me, and I'll hook you up once this interview is over. As always, it is free to play. And we got extra prizes tonight, which is always amazing.
Naturally.
I had to do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I had a few questions about like retro rat toys. So
yes.
Do you have a specialty in particular?
Well, I don't own Retro Rat. Retro Rat is it started during the pandemic. It's a video game and toy store. It's basically our childhoods, like all us 30s and 40-year-olds. Yeah, shame. No, all of it like wrapped up. Like, if I were like, teenager then, I wouldn't want to leave that store. I'd just hang out all day.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll work here. I'll sort comics, and he does carry comics.
Really? So retro and new school?
Just old school.
Old school.
Like it's a bunch of like boxes.
Like
the higher end stuff is either in a case or up high.
So you're just in there just digging in crates,
$2
just like
boxes,
you used to.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
$2 boxes.
God, we haven't done that in a very long time. We're definitely due for like a tour at like one of our local spots.
I stopped at Coliseum because I work near Coliseum in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Tampa. And I'm like, I need one more book to get a stamp, like $1 book. So I started going through the little dollar bins. $40 more later. A bunch of old Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy's. In almost pretty much mint condition.
Really?
Bagged and boarded. And those later issues are hard to come by.
For sure, yeah.
So I'm going to probably flip a few.
Yeah, if you find a copy and you're like, oh, there's 2 of these, I'm buying both of them.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're just
do
like,
all the time.
Somebody else is going to want these, and I know they're out there, so we're definitely going to do that. So what's your schedule look like as far as your traveling goes? You said you were in Korea for a while.
Yeah, I lived there for 6 years. I just finished grad school, early 30s, working at a god-awful call center.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, I need to do something with my life. Yep. So you know what I did? Packed everything up. All my comics at storage.
There you go.
Fit everything into 2 big suitcases. Went overseas. I was going to do maybe 2 years, use it as like a career booster. Liked it, stayed 6 until I was just ready to come home.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people use it when they do that, when they go on the Euro trips. They usually like trying to just find that outlet and just explore. You're finding yourself more than anything else a little bit, yeah. So
honestly, it wasn't the travel as much because for the first few years, every year I'd come home because I'd miss comic shops, I missed concerts.
Yes.
I missed my friends, my family. Okay, family was at the bottom there. Didn't mean that, Mom. Didn't mean it. But what I'm getting at, and I'm like, why the hell have I traveled? So I went to the Philippines a couple times, loved it. Cambodia twice, Thailand. Only did a night in Japan because I got stuck.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah.
Man, that airport must be awesome.
Lots of weird Kit Kats.
Dude, I know. Actually, me and my girlfriend, we stopped at like the random shop. We just happened to see they had literally like 7 bags of Kit Kats and bought them all. So I know exactly what you mean. So how do you source your goods and any gear like you're really excited about as far as Retro Rat is concerned?
Okay, well, I'm a customer. What I did was I talked to the guy who owns them, like they're a new business. We can help each other. We put up posters for all our like nerd events.
Got it.
Like okay. Potter, they helped us advertise, which was huge success. This entire warehouse and outside packed to the gills.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big space if you're wondering. Like, if you see any screenshots from online, it's pretty massive all the way around.
Yeah. So, like, if I have 80 people here, it doesn't look completely full, but it's pretty full.
I gotcha. All right, cool. Well, that's going to be our time. Before we get started, we got to get things chugging along, get everything going. But go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you and plug all your stuff.
All right. Oh. I'm so used to it. Sorry. Double mics.
Just go. But,
cut that one.
Yeah, no, you're good.
He's going to edit this, right?
Yeah,
because I scratched my nose.
Yeah,
so.
you're good. You're good.
So, with America's TriviAddiction, we're here every Monday night.
Okay.
7 to 9:30.
Right.
We do get some nice sized crowds. Theme games are the second Wednesday of every month. And feel free to go to our Facebook page, America's TriviAddiction, and you'll see where all our locations are.
Yep, we'll put that somewhere over
here.
Yeah,
we currently have, I think, a dozen.
Down there.
Sorry, a dozen weekly events.
Right.
Had to think about
Perfect.
that. A dozen weekly events.
All right, so you're kind of all over to get everything all set up.
I only do 2 weekly and I theme games. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
And I'm writing the things too. So
there you go. All right, we'll go ahead and check our man out. Definitely come out to one of our spots. We're doing gaming trivia today, so it should be fun. Come check us out. It's 4 Nerds, 1Podcast. It's your boy Rob the Noob, signing off.
And Quizmaster Ched.
There it is. And we are out of here.